Hey guys, so Easter's coming up and Cassie is my big bunny and she's been getting very excited, as have I. And I have two little bunnies here and we are going to read a story. Oh, I also have my bunny ears on. And we are going to read a story about bunny ears and it is called Flop Ear. I would read the name or the author, but it looks pretty hard for me to pronounce. But I'm gonna give it a try. Guido van Genetchen. And this is a story that you can take an AR test on. Miss McFall actually gave me this story. She gave me a bunch of stories. Flop Ear by Guido van Genetchen. Rabbits come in all shapes and sizes. There are big rabbits and little rabbits, fat rabbits and thin rabbits, girl rabbits and boy rabbits, and they all have two long ears. Flop Ear had two long ears too, only Flop Ears were different. Do you see how his ears are different? Yep, one's going up and one's going down. Both of my ears go straight up. And Cassie, both of her ears go straight down. But his ears are different. One goes up and one goes down. All the other rabbits had ears that stood straight up, but Flop Ear's right ear hung down. Flop Ear, they shouted at him. Why can't you stick your ear up like us? How do you think Flop Ear feels? I think he feels sad too. Flop Ear longed to have two straight ears, but how? When he hung upside down, his ears were quite straight, but he couldn't spend his life like that. Flop Ear tried hiding his ears under his grandma's lampshade. It was hot and uncomfortable, and the other rabbits laughed at him. Flop Ear propped his ear up with a carrot. He tied it to a stick with some string. He wrapped his ear in a big bandage. He tied a clothespin on the end of his dad's fishing rod. He even held his ear up with a balloon. The other rabbits were laughing so much they nearly cried. Poor Flop Ear. Nothing seemed to work. By now he was very sad. I'll just have to cut my ear off, and I never ever want to see those rabbits again. Flop Ear sat down all by himself and cried. The next day, Flop Ear went to the doctor. The doctor examined both his ears. He said, you know, there's really nothing wrong with that ear. It seems perfectly well. Besides, all ears are different. Here, have a nice carrot. They're good for you. On his way home, Flop Ear thought about what the doctor had said. It was true. All ears were different. It's just that I have two different ears, one standing up and one lying down. Flop Ear laughed at himself, one up, one down. He felt much happier. The other rabbits saw him coming. They shouted out, "Hey, here's Flop Ear!" They were all so pleased to see him. Life's been really boring without you, Flop Ear. Do you have any new tricks to show us? Well, he said, I know one. No, I didn't. Soon, all the rabbits were tying carrots to their ears, one up and one ear down. What fun they all had, and they were all the same. So they made their ears like his. And that is the end. Cool. So now I have some questions about this story. Now, when I was reading this story, I saw some characters who were not showing hero behavior. What characters were not showing, or who in the story was not showing hero behavior? That's right, those other bunnies were not being very good friends. They weren't showing hero behavior. They weren't being respectful to him. They were being very unkind by laughing at him. And it made Flop Ear really sad when they were laughing. How did Flop Ear change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story? So in the beginning of the story, he felt one way. In the end of the story, he felt another way. So how did Flop Ear change during the story? This one's a hard question. Excellent job. Flop Ear changed because at the beginning of the story, he didn't like his ears and they made him sad. And then by the end of the story, he ended up liking them. What was Flop Ear's problem? Like, what problem did he have in the story? Excellent job. Flop Ear wanted to try to fix his ear because, well, his problem was that his ears were not the same. They were two different ears, even though I don't really think that was a problem. But Flop Ear thought it was a problem. What did he do to try to solve his problem? There are a couple of different things that he did, weren't there? He tried to go to the doctor. He tried to put a carrot in it. He tried to tie it up with a stick. He used a fishing rod. There are a couple of things. Oh, he wrapped it in a bandage. Excellent. All right, I have one last question. Does this story remind you of anything? Well, that's a hard question too. This story reminds me of my ears. One time, a little girl told me that my ears were small, and they are small, but it's okay that they're small. That's just the way that they are. And we all have something that's a little bit different about us. Let me think, what else I have that's different about me? Oh, I know. My second toe is longer than my first toe. People tell me it means that I'm bossy. I don't know. But I will show you my toes, but they are ashy and they need to be done. So we're not gonna show you my toes today. But my second toe is longer than my first. Thank you for listening to this story with me today. What I would like you to do, I would like you to write in Google Classroom how you are different than other people. So think of something that makes you a little bit different than everybody else. It can be that you have small ears, or your second toe is longer than your first, or that your name is spelled a different way than other people's names. Whatever makes you different. I want you to put that in Google Classroom. Other than that, make sure that you wash your hands, listen to your parents, and have a wonderful day, guys.